Hey, what's up triathletes, Taren here. If you're looking for a more built up running shoe that you can use as you're putting in some heavy mileage, maybe you're training for a half Ironman or an Ironman, or you just want to take a little bit of rest off your body, this is the Hoka One One Clifton 3. We're going to talk about how I feel about Hoka's new edition of the Clifton. So this is Hoka One One's third edition of their Clifton lineup, and until they started getting into more racing style flats, this was their lightest and fastest road racing shoe. Now the Clifton 3 is nearly an identical shoe to the Clifton 2. I did a review on that, and what happened was in the comments below, a lot of the issues that I had with the Clifton 2 were issues that other people also had. Hoka made a number of tweaks fixing some of those issues, but also causing others. Now compared to the Clifton 2, it's still $130, which is a really good bang for your buck because this is a high mileage shoe. You're probably going to get 200, 300, even 400 miles out of it. You've still got the 5mm offset from heel to toe with 24mm stack height in the front and 29 in the back. And it feels basically like a zero drop shoe. I'm always impressed with how such a built up maximal shoe can feel so light and natural. The Clifton 3 is an ounce heavier than the 2, coming in at 8.6 ounces, so it's still light-ish, but it's not nearly as light as the 2s. Now the tread pattern and the entire construction of the sole is basically identical, and it felt identical. It has the EVA mid-foam sole and strategically placed treads in hard rubber to get that high mileage out of the shoe. Now the front little toe cap here now comes all the way up, and it's just one piece. That's a change from the Clifton 2. I really liked it. It had a great sensation as I was toeing off and rolling forward. It really encouraged you to get into that forward aspect of your running stride. The biggest changes in the Clifton 3s happened in the upper. It fixed a number of issues, but also caused some others that I'm going to get into. Now right out of the box, I absolutely love the design of this style of shoe. All the other colors of the Clifton 3s are very meh. Also coming out of the box, they're more or less broken in. It only took, I would say at tops, about 15 kilometers to get these all the way broken in. One of the biggest differences that I noticed between the 3s and the 2s is how it feels when you put it on your foot that very first time. Now for one, the heel cup is almost loose when you first put it on, and the front feels really structured, and you can definitely feel a sensation of a shoe being around your foot up front, while this almost feels floppy. But as you get running, that goes away. As far as sizing goes, if you're in between two sizes, definitely go with the size smaller. That was perfect for me. I started out all the testing with a track run, and they were a little bit stiff. I found that by the end of the track run, they broke in, and on the 400-meter track that I run on, they were fine. On a 200-meter track, however, there's probably a little bit too much going on, so that as you're coming around a bend, it might be a little bit too much sole. And like I said, the sole is that same Hoka Clifton feel that gets you up to that really nice tempo sort of pace. It makes you want to go fast, and it almost shoots you off the ground. Very responsive. I absolutely love that. So if you're looking for a shoe to get you into that kind of fast run, that tempo run on the road and the track, these are really good for that. These shoes' happy place is in a very fast pace with nice high cadence. Then I went and took these shoes to the trails to see how shock absorbing they were and how stable they were. And they did really good. If you like the 2s for trail running, you'll be fine with the 3s. There's not much difference there. They're fantastic on gravel, packed trail, wood chips, small rocks and roots. It's all no problem. I wouldn't necessarily use these shoes if you're going for really technical trails where you want a beefed up burly trail shoe. But if you're just doing your average single track kind of run, these are fantastic for that. They absorb just about everything because there is 2.5 centimeters of cushion to take all that pounding. The one thing that I didn't like on the trail was taking these on grass. The sole, very squishy. Grass, very squishy. Put them together, way too squishy. One of the big barometers of how comfortable a shoe is the Barefoot Test that I do. Can you use these shoes barefoot in a triathlon? And for all of us that had a problem with the Clifton 2, that there was something really strange in the footbed up by the toes that caused the toes to rub side to side and cause blisters. That is gone with the Clifton 3s. Woo! That said, they completely changed the upper, and it's pretty rough inside. I blistered a little bit on a long run here on the inside edge of both of my feet, but it wasn't crazy. Then the day after, when I did the barefoot run, I knew I was gonna be in for trouble because I could already feel as soon as I put the shoes on that they were rough. But you know what, guys? I suffer for you. And you know what happened? Blister City. Yeah, I would probably not recommend these for barefoot running or triathlons in a sprint or an Olympic where you're running 5 and 10K. But here's the thing about that. If you're buying these shoes for sprint and Olympic distance triathlons or short road running races, you're missing the point. These shoes are meant for long tempo runs on the road, or if you're doing a half Ironman or an Ironman and you need all that cushion to absorb the amount of pounding that's going into your body. And if you're doing those super long races, you've got a couple of seconds to put socks on. So while I could knock them for how rough it is on the inside and how angry my feet are today, I'm not gonna, because nobody should be using these barefoot. Boom, problem solved, you're fine. The traction is really good on all surfaces, even on roads where there was rain, totally fine. One thing that was a little bit annoying on that rainy run was that these shoes do carry a little bit of water. It gets a touch heavier, not a lot, and they still work really well as far as the responsiveness goes, but that little bit of water that they carry gives it a gross like as your foot's striking. So I gotta say that I was really impressed with these shoes as far as the nice smooth ride that they give. It's probably one of the nicest rides that you'll get in a running shoe. Whether you're a triathlete or a pure runner, you're gonna like these for the long runs, the tempo runs, recovery runs, days when you don't want your body being beat up and you need that little bit of cushioning. There's probably nothing better than a Hoka. That said, it's a fair bit of a learning curve for your entire body because there is so much going on. So there you have it. That is my take on the Hoka One One Clifton 3s. As always, happy and hard training and good luck in your next triathlon. Come on.